Hi guys, today I bring you Summer Court for 500 plus EK. Some of you may have already seen my Summer Court for Beginners video. In that video, I'm sort of half boxing and getting my bestiaries completed, whereas this video is, proper Summer Court for, best in slot, full boxing EK, 500 plus, really trying to push their respawn. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at the results. So I've got a few screenshots here, a few hunt analyzers from my various hunts here. As you can see, I think this analyzer right here, this first one on the left where you can see almost 6.6 kk raw, this was actually with 1 damage prey, so that one is a little bit higher. But the two other results on the right were with no praise active. So, pretty close anyway. So I would say the raw experience is, somewhere between 6 to 6.6 kk per hour. I think this spot, maxes out at about 6.7, 6.8 kk raw per hour before there's no more respawn. So, these results are pretty damn close to, potentially maxing out the spawn. And, like a level 800, 900 should be able to get that 6.6, 6.7 without any praise. And this translates to about 9 to 10 kk per hour on 150. And the loot, as you can see, is somewhere between 900k to about 1.1, maybe 1.2 kk profit per hour, which is pretty great considering how good of an experience place this is as well. With regards to difficulty, I give it an 8 out of 10. This is mostly due to Thanatursus. God, it's so hard to pronounce that monster's name. The big cows that they are also known as. Because, there is a couple of pulls where you have 2 or 3 of them and they do hurt a lot, so you do need to be careful in those particular pulls. In the pulls where you're only killing, summer elves and rear guards and vanguards, those pulls are pretty easy, so nothing to worry about there too much. But there is a couple of pulls at this spot, which are pretty difficult. Anyway, looking at bestiary, we're looking at 5 to 6 hours for rear guards, vanguards, 18 hours for insane sirens and the arachnophobicas, and about 35 hours for Thanatursus if you're only going to do them here. But you most likely pick them up at Winter Court, most likely pick them up hunting specters as well, so hopefully you're not going to have to hunt for 35 hours to unlock them here. Moving on, the requirements: you need a level 500 plus, you need Faerist access, and you need the Speak to a Fairy just to begin the Dream Courts quest. I forgot to say, you will actually need to do quite a few missions until you get the access to go inside of the teleport, right? Because we will be hunting inside of the teleport at the Summer Castle. But I can't remember exactly how many missions that is. Anyway, you need to progress Dream Courts quest until you get access into the inner teleports at Winter Court and Summer Court. You will obviously need an ice weapon. All of the monsters here are pretty weak to ice. And this place can effectively be hunted by knights and paladins. With regards to mages can hunt, the outer levels of the first 2 levels, running around with runes. But they're probably not going to hunt anywhere near as effectively as a knight or a paladin can. And they definitely won't be going inside of the teleport. And duos can also hunt here very well. Full team hunt, probably not enough room to run around and not enough respawn. Recommended imbuements: praise, all standard imbuements. I don't think praise are necessary. Depending on how difficult you find this place, you will maybe want to consider a fire imbuement, defensive fire imbuement in your armor. As you can see in the damage breakdown, we're looking at about 40% physical, 40% fire damage. So definitely, if you're struggling, you get that fire def in your armor. Personally, I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I think this place is not so hard once you have all the charms unlocked, but it definitely will make your life easier if you have that defensive imbuement. So, with regards to supplies per hour, I usually spend about 2.6k strong manas and somewhere between 20 and 100 supreme health potions, depending on how effectively I'm playing. If I'm just chilling and not really focusing too much, then I will spend a little bit more. If I'm really focusing, I don't need to spend that many supreme health potions. With regards to charms, this is the charm setup that I use. It's Wound on Insane Siren, Curse on Thanatursus, Divine Wrath or Dodge on Arachnophobica, depending how much you're struggling. Again, if you're struggling, maybe apply Dodge. If you're having a great time, then apply Divine Wrath. And then I have Freeze on Vanguard and Low Blow on Rearguard. The only potential switch that you might be thinking about is maybe putting Freeze on Insane Siren, because they have slightly more health, so technically Freeze would be more effective. But then there's not that many Insane Sirens, right? There's about 3 times as many Vanguards, so it's a little bit debatable. Anyway, something like this will definitely work pretty well. For the wheel, you definitely need Exori Mask cooldown reduction. You're going to be full boxing almost every pull. And the character you'll see in the video is a level 578 with 129 axe skill with loyalty. And no praise active. Now, before we take a look at the route, quick shout out to all my YouTube members: Jado, Krucze, Pashigu, Paput, Laskis, Javi, and Defect Musco. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you all so much. Now, let's take a look at the route. So there's a couple of things I'll say before we start. First thing, if you've watched my Summer Court for Beginners video, the route is basically the same. I still hunt basically the same way, with the difference that I don't, 5 or 6 box, but I just 8 box, and that's it. And second of all, I will just apologize for likely this being a little bit awkward. There's 5 levels that I had to fit on a single slide, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. I hope I managed to make it clear and easy to see where we're going, but if not, then I apologize in advance. Anyway, let's start from level 0. So you will come in somewhere here, and you will pull all of the monsters on this level somewhere here, do a nice big pull there. At that point, you will go here, get all of the monsters here and pull them up to somewhere here. And it's super critical on level 0 to be attacking everything as you're pulling. If you're just running to the pull and just waiting for monsters to surround you, you're giving up loads of damage and you're slowing down your experience. Make sure to be hitting 3-4 monsters at a time as you're pulling them towards the pull spot. And we do want to do this one quite far north, so that an Insane Siren error and an Arachnophobica from around here come down and join the pull. Once the pull is dead, I go up the stairs here and do a pretty big pull somewhere around here. This one is quite difficult. There's I think 3 or 4 Insane Sirens in this pull, so it can get a bit dicey, so do be careful, but it's okay. Once I kill this pull, I quickly run up another level. I go another plus level to +2, and we end up somewhere here. I do a little, little loop just to pull all the monsters from all the corners, and then I usually do a little pull here. This one is probably one of the 2 bad pulls that we do in the whole Summer Court. This one is usually only 5 or 6 monsters, so it's not great, but it is what it is. Once we kill it, I just go here and do a big pull before the teleporter. So we do a big pull here. Normally there's around 11 monsters, I would say. And then we enter the teleporter, which is somewhere here. Once we enter the teleporter, we come out right here. At this point, I run through the corridor, pulling everything towards this place. This is where I kill everything. Make sure to be attacking, I think there's like 2 Arachnophobicas and maybe like 2 elves here. So just make sure to attack them as you're pulling them, so that by the time you get to the pulling spot, they effectively just die. Once this pull is over, you go here and here, do a pull here. This pull has 2 Thanacersuses, so it's pretty tough. There's about 8 monsters exactly, I think, in this room. At that point, I go here. Here I do a little loop. I kind of dip into the southern room, but I sort of go back out to do the pull here. I basically want to pull out the monsters from this room. There's only about 3 of them, but it does help to complete the pull here. Once this is done, I go down to -2 here. So we come out in this staircase right here. Then I do a big pull, pulling everything somewhere here. And I do a very big pull here. This is probably the biggest pull in the whole loop. I think there's sometimes even like 16 monsters here, so definitely be prepared for this one as well. Once it's done, I go to these stairs and go up to -1, coming out here. I then sort of do a little loop like this, going into this room and kill everything here. And at this point, I go back to the main castle through the teleport. So I come out on +2 here. And basically, I don't kill anything that respawns here. There's no point killing anything here. So I just put Tempo Hur and I just run through here very quickly. And I go somewhere here. And normally you will do a pull here of about 3 Arachnophobicas and a couple of elves. So it helps. This is the second bad pull of Summer Court. And you will notice that both the bad pulls are basically here and here. Unfortunately, this level is not great, but there's not really much else we can do. Anyway, once this pull is done, I just go up here, down the stairs, to end up on level +1, right here. And then from here, I quickly sort of dip in and go here, doing a big pull on the balcony. This one can be a bit difficult at times as well. So this is a big pull here. Once I do it, I go here. And something to mention here, sometimes you will do a pull here and sometimes you will not. This depends on the respawn rate on your server. Sometimes you will do a nice pull here, you will kill it, you will go north and you will do this pull here. But sometimes there will not be quite enough monsters. So if there's not enough monsters, just attack whatever there is as you come upon it, but just drag it towards like a big pull either here, or you can also do this pull somewhere here if you want. And that is actually the final pull of this summer court. Once I finish this pull, I just go up to the levitate here, and I levitate down, and I come out on level 0 somewhere around here, and I just repeat. Big pull here, and again, to the right, and that's it. So quite complicated to explain. As you can see, there's like 12 different pulls, I think, or maybe even more on like 5 different levels. So it's a little bit complicated, but it works very well for me. Like you could see, I can push sometimes 6.5 million raw. This is only on level 580. So I think this is pretty good. Yeah, and I hope you try it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a better route, if you can get more experience than me. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.